What's going on today, everybody? Isn't that a beautiful view? We're out here in Bend, Oregon, and thanks for joining us. In today's video, we are going to talk about things people hate about Bend, Oregon. Hate's a strong word, but it tells us a lot about what this life in Bend is like. We want honest feedback. We like to get on the internet because it's where we're going to get the best source. We did a video a couple of weeks ago, hopefully you're on the channel and you joined it, that talked about brutally honest reviews about living in Bend, and it got a lot of action. So we're bringing kind of the next spin to that, and we asked newer homeowners, what is it that maybe you love about Bend, but also after you've lived here, what's something you hate? What are those things that you weren't expecting and you kind of weren't prepared for? Things like the weather. Maybe it's smoke in the fall season or kind of throughout the summers. How about dry skin because of that altitude? And, how do you take care of yourself? So a couple of examples we're going to talk about. We got a lot of feedback. We got a lot of choices on that Rants and Raves page that's going to be able to share a pretty good tale of what is it that people hate about Bend, and is that okay for you? Because it's a great place to be, and we hope you're looking for more. Come join us. We're here on the channel to get you all the information, entertain you a little bit, maybe a few gifts along the way. Come along with the ride, and let's go check it out right now. So we're going to jump right into this content of what's everybody saying about Bend in this kind of hate aspect of what they don't like. Let's get into it. So first comment, we call it poverty with a view. It's beautiful here, wide open spaces, lots to do if you like the outdoors, and the sun shines a lot. The downside, that it's cold most of the time, and it's so dry you have to use oil on your skin daily or it cracks and dries out. There isn't a lot of industry, so jobs are limited, and people hang on to their jobs because there aren't a ton of them. The other downside is that unless you're born here, you'll be looked at like a pariah, which means an outsider. That does take a little bit of time to break through, because when I first moved here, I might have had California plates on my car. And man, people look at you when you got California plates on your car like you don't belong here. I now have been here for several years. I do belong here. This is the lifestyle that I want to participate in, being outdoors, enjoying the sunshine. There's a lot of good comments that come out of that. But it's expensive and it comes with challenges because there is limit to the amount of jobs and industry that's here. It's a small mountain town that thrives on tourism and has, some interesting pockets to get into. But cost of living is one of those things that we kind of see as a trend in this conversation. The one that surprised me here that is probably one of the most true, it's the next one. It's so dry your skin cracks. Yeah, we are in the high desert. It's about 3,500 feet here, and being in the high desert, some parts of town's a little bit closer to the rivers, the lakes, the water that keeps some more moisture in the air. Some are closer to those bigger, taller trees that get a little bit more humidity in the air. But if you're on the east side of town, out in the area where it's the junipers and you're kind of in that high desert, it really is anywhere. It's dry here. You got to drink a lot of water. You got to use, whether it's lotion or oils or whatever you do to take care of your skin. I feel it. Just got to plan for it, and it's part of life. It's that way in a lot of parts of the country and a lot of parts of the world. It's one of those small things we deal with here, and I can deal with it. I hope you can too. All right, last one on this section of my mind right now. Cost of living is ridiculous. Overcrowded. Traffic is getting worse by the month. The winters suck. Healthcare is terrible. Overall, the people that have moved here, not all of them, but large majority, are self-centered a-holes. Not everybody loves it here. Most people that have lived here forever love it here, but they see that it's changed. It's grown. It's an attractive place to be, and people want to be here. I'm one of them. I've been coming here since the late 90s. I've lived, around this area, but I didn't actually move here with my family until a couple of years ago. But I'll tell you what, there's a reason everybody wants to move here. And there's a reason that those are from here that have lived here forever want to protect that and keep people out, right? But growth happens, no matter what city you pick. From what it was 20 years ago to what it is today, it's grown. So we got to live with it. We got to deal with it. This is still a great small town vibe. It's an awesome community. And as many things that you got out of that last comment that might be harsh, well, I won't deny any of them. I'll support all of that opinion, but I'll also say it's worth it. It's fantastic here. So let's move on. What else do we have to talk about? I hope you're enjoying the content. Let me tell you, as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love more, and that's helping people like you get all the information, find out if this is the part of the country, part of the state, and what part of town is right for you. So as we help educate and inform you of all the things you need to know, how about a couple of gifts for you? First one it is a home buyer's guide. As a local realtor here, me and my partner Joshua, we want to help you get all the information in the home buying process. So how do I get pre-qualified? What do I need to know as far as selecting homes? What is this commission stuff? And how do I understand who's paying what? And what do I need to know? So click into that guide. Hopefully it helps and gets us connected. And we're here to help you on that journey. For those of you that already are homeowners, understand a little bit about that buying process, but maybe it's time to sell so you can upgrade or move to a different town. We're here to help with that too. So no matter where in the country you are, we've got partnerships, we've got resources, and we want to help you in that guide. Click in for that free home buyer's guide. Find out about how do I stage my home? What do I need to do to get it ready? How do I maximize it? What's the best time of year to do it? All these are important questions, and if you don't already know the answers, click that guide and click our information. We'd love to help. All right, let's get back to the fun. Talk more about this town, this community, and what you need to know. Let's go. So as we talk more about haters of Bend or things that you might not have known, but you hate about Bend, here's a little bit more. It's hard to get prompt healthcare due to the lack of staffing and huge increase in population since 2020. I don't know if 2020 is a significant timeline, but it is one of those things that we deal with. Healthcare is a big part of what's going on in this town. It's one of the biggest job industry, providers, but it's also a lot of specialists and a lot of really great things with the St. Charles healthcare system. We are the level 2 trauma center for all of Central Oregon and beyond, which means we are the destination not only for Bend, not only for Central Oregon, which is a pretty vast area, but in some cases the hospital that we have here and the healthcare system, it goes beyond that. So it covers a lot, but there's a lot of specialists, there's a lot of great treatment, there's a lot of great care, and we want to make sure that whatever it is that you need. We hope that they can get it for you and then do it in a timely manner and an efficient manner and help take care of whatever your challenges are. But look into it if that's important to you, because there's great healthcare, but like anywhere, smaller town, we've got our challenges, so it's part of it. Next thought, it's growing faster than our systems can handle. Not enough medical staff and doctors. The roads were not meant to handle this, or not meant for this much traffic. The quaint things about Bend have become overrun and no longer have proper parking to enjoy them. All of these things are pretty consistent. Healthcare, having enough doctors, traffic, roundabouts, being able to kind of manage the size that this town has become. It's grown pretty quick. If you follow the channel, what we say over the last 10, 15, 20 years in Bend is it's kind of doubled in size. There's growth that's helping that and managing that logistics and kind of flow of how things happen in this town, but it takes time. As town grows rapidly, all of the services and all of the things that you need, well, they come with it. It just continues to grow and more places become available. So look into it if those are details that are important to you, but just know this town is growing. It's learning how to adapt. More roundabouts are going in, freeways are getting bigger, and the town is growing out to the edges of where the growth boundaries will allow it. It's not too late. It's still great here. This one, it's from the rants and raves page. So this person actually listed them as a rant and a rave. Healthcare, again, we're talking about it, including dental, is incredibly lacking. I'm 3 years in and go to the valley for everything. Even having my baby there in 3 weeks, because it's just much more accessible, accommodating, and friendly and professional than anything I've experienced here in Bend. The rave, though, outdoor activities, and radically accessible. That's a great testament to why they probably left the valley over in Portland or wherever they lived before and came over here. Beautiful, it's endless, it's amazing, and what kind of hits the emotion of what you want out of life. But there's things that when you compare it to what you can get in a bigger city, you drive to Portland 3 hours, you drive to Eugene 2.5 hours, there's more there. And maybe that's a resource that you want to look into if that's important to you. But there's a lot of great resources here. I haven't had a whole lot of challenges with healthcare. I don't have significant needs, but what me, my family, my kids have needed, we've been able to take care of. There are times waiting in line at the pharmacy. There's not enough pharmacies and there's not enough pharmacists to help. So time is part of that experience and part of those challenges, but I bet you wherever you live, that happens too. It's not perfect, and it's just part of the system. So it's what we do. Pause into the next one. All right, let's dive into a couple more of these feedbacks that we got. Been here for 9 months. The winds are a big surprise. We came from the west side and were shocked. It is windy every day. I don't know if the west side means the west side of Bend and they moved to the east side. I don't know if that means they moved from the west side of Oregon, so maybe they were out closer to the coast or they were in the valley, and they moved over to this side of the slope. And if you look at the geography of the state, that I-5 corridor, kind of what we call the other side of the state, they have a different weather pattern than we do here in the high desert. desert. We've got the mountains and the Cascades that basically generate their own weather pattern. If you follow the weather in downtown Bend versus what we get up in the mountains, that is a reason why we have the weather we do. It generates its own system of storms and weather, and wind is part of it. Those volcanic structures and geographic, landscapes, they come off the coast, they come across those mountains, and they hit this high desert and head out east. It has its benefits. In the summertime when it's hot, it's kind of refreshing. And when you're up on the mountain skiing, it can be a lot. There's days where it has to shut down the mountain and makes it tough to get around. In town, it's windy. It's not unbearable. I would say 10-mile-an-hour winds is not uncommon. We get 50-mile-an-hour gusts pretty often, but it's not a daily thing that you really realize or deal with, but you'll see them, you'll have them here, and it's all part of it. It was a surprise, but for the landscape, it is part of what we do here. All right, last one on my list. My husband and I are new to Bend, originally from Arizona. We absolutely love it here, but we were not aware of how bad the fire season can get. During the summer days, some of it's hard to be outside. We live in the forest, we live in the high desert, and when you combine those things, as the season kind of comes to the middle of the summer, all that snow's melted, all that kind of moisture in the air from the winter season starts to evaporate and things dry out, it does create a fire hazard. And we watch it closely as a community. We're always aware, and we're trying our best to be proactive to not create forest fires and help minimize the risks of it. A lot of the Deschutes National Forest last year was a major training ground for the National Forest Service to prepare and get ahead of forest fires and try and minimize a lot of those risks with low brush being cleared and trees being trimmed and hedged and a lot of brush at the ground level being cleared out. They put a ton of work in to try and make it safer for this town, and they're always doing it, but it's tough to keep up with. And when those fires do happen, we had some in the Pine last year. We've got them kind of spread out around the state. When you watch the fire maps, say July, August, September, by October, we start to get some of that rain. We start to get some of those change of the winds where the snows start to get closer, and it kind of puts those fires out. And we always can't wait for that, whatever week it is in October, where it's like, okay, season's over. We don't have to expect that smoke in the air anymore. Sometimes there might be a day or two, or sporadically a couple times of the summer where they might not put the concert on because the smoke in the air. They might not encourage you to go outside, and you want to be aware of it. It's not every day, and it's not really a deterrent for why we live here. It's something that we deal with, and it's something you got to be aware of. So forest fires, the smoke in the air, the wind factor as we talk about, they're all realities that are part of the high desert, part of this beautiful mountain community that I like to call home. And I hope you're thinking about it. We want to keep this journey going. So if you're investigating this channel and learning about what we're showing and kind of sharing, we're here to help and connect and get you all the info. So hope you enjoy all of these things that we're pointing out. This is honest feedback from people in this community that, when we ask the question, what do you think? What do you like? What do you hate? There's the hate. There's some likes about it too. I know what I like. And some of these things that they hate, I'd agree with. That dry skin, some of that smoke, I hate it, but it's not going to stop me from living here. There you go. Well, that's a lot to take in. We hope you enjoyed it. As we bring this tour, this journey, this education to a close, we just like to say thanks and hope you got what you were hoping for out of this video. We want to connect. We want to get you all the things that you need. We're here to try and guide you through this content and this channel, but you see all our information right here. We want to make sure that you can reach out, and if there's questions, if there's concerns, if there's more feedback, hit us up, shoot us a message. But at the very least, we want to make sure you're having fun with it. So tap that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications. Let us keep you informed. Follow us as this journey continues throughout Central Oregon, the lifestyle, the things that we think you need to know. One last thing, hopefully this journey has tempted you even more and you'd like to find out about moving to Central Oregon. We're here to find the ways to do it, get you informed. So click in down below in the comments. We've got the ultimate relocation guide designed to give you all the information from top jobs, top employers, things that healthcare system. We heard lots of comments, but you need to know about what's available there, restaurants and activities, and what this outdoor wild Mecca paradise is all about. Come play on my playground. Until then, we hope to see you around town. We look forward to scheduling that meeting. Come visit, come play, and make this part of your life. Let's go. Lifestyle in Bend.